So today I want to talk all about cases. I really think, especially as I've dove more and more into the markets and seen more data and seen more research, that I've truly become more and more of a case investor first and foremost. Now, of course, I still think there is some value to be had in certain patches or certain stickers or capsules or whatever, but I really think what I have been doing over the past couple months and what I want to do going forward in the future is really base a lot of my portfolio, especially the big percentages and the big amounts of money, mostly into cases. I really think that's where a lot of the safer, or not even safer, but just most profitable, hopefully, I think, highest expected value bets and investments are going to be in the long term. I think cases make so much sense. Obviously, a limited supply. Obviously, people love opening cases. Obviously, as the game continues to grow and evolve and thrive, then cases are only going to get rarer, older, hopefully more expensive. I think it makes a ton of sense. But I have been a little bit weary over the past couple of weeks because I didn't really know what was going on with the markets. I didn't know if the market was about to crash. I didn't know what was going on with peer-to-peer trading. I've been trying to follow that so much. And obviously, a big part of what I do is cash trading as well. And that's so much of the money that I have in CS and the money that then comes out of my cash trading business and into my investments. So before I knew what exactly was going on with the trading side of things or the markets in general, I couldn't really add to many of my investments or talk about many investments or anything like that because the peer-to-peer trading stuff was much more important to me. But now that it does seem like Float is back and a lot of these other websites are back, peer-to-peer trading seems to still be alive for now. Who knows what's going to happen next? I want to start diving into more investments. Today I want to talk about cases. That's why we are on CS2 Case Tracker. So over the past month, one big thing to know, and I'm going to have some of my favorite cases or cases that I do plan on buying over the next couple weeks and months in this video as well, so definitely get excited for that. But in the past month, I guess last 30 days or whatever, 33 million cases have been unboxed, and that's one huge reason why I love cases. Now, again, that number by itself doesn't necessarily mean anything, but what we can do by looking at the CS2 Case Tracker website is see the cases that have been unboxed the most. Now, again, I do want to focus mostly on the matured but still relatively cheap rare cases. I think with cases in the active duty drop pool, yes, long term, I still think they're going to be good investments. I think most of these cases will be profitable at some point in the future, but there is opportunity cost. And I think a lot of the newer cases into the rare pool, something like the snakebite case, while again, I do still think it's going to be a good investment at some point, maybe 2, 5, 10 years in the future, whatever. I still think you can get other cases for better prices, better deals that are further along in their maturity that aren't going to take so long to come to fruition. And again, you're going to be not eating as much opportunity cost. So looking at which cases are unboxed heavily and have that genuine demand that's going to continue to give them volume and eat into their inventory and supply over time, but also still are at relatively decent prices. So some of the most unboxed rare cases, again, snakebite, the most unboxed rare case. That's not totally surprising. People don't love the snakebite case, but it's still, there's so much of it out there and it's still so cheap that people are still going to be opening it up. Again, Clutch, another one that it's getting opened up a lot. But you can see the Clutch is way further down here along in the line. The Clutch is a much older case than something like snakebite. So it is similar to the snakebite in terms of volumes and supplies and everything like that, but it's a little bit further along in its maturity. And then after that, we have these groups of rare cases that are a little bit older, less supply, stuff like that, like Prisma 2, Prisma 1, Danger Zone, Gamma 2, Chroma 3. We have Operation Phoenix back here. We have Revolver. We have Chroma 2. These are the cases that I really like, these kind of mid-age, mid-price point rare cases that have some opportunity. But as far as just cases themselves, what I do think is interesting as well is looking at this graph here for the total monthly unboxing for the last 27 months. You can see back in 2022 where our case unboxing numbers were, and then obviously towards the beginning of 2023 when that CS2 peak and hype and mania really kind of went crazy, case unboxing numbers started to go insane. We went from 21 million in January to 27 million to 39 million, all the way up to something ridiculous, 50 million in April of 2023. Started to go back down to 46, 33. You can see here when CS2 dropped in October, we peaked it back at 45. We kind of teetered back down for 3 months, 24, 23, 21 in January is really crazy, but lately we've been spiking back up, which I think is a great sign for cases. Again, in February, we had 31 million, and then in March, we had 38 million. Now, not the greatest sign that in the last 30 days, we've only had 33 million, so the numbers are trending down a little bit, but this is something that's going to go up and down, and still being at 33 million in the last 30 days is a very, very good sign. You partner up how many cases are being unboxed with also how many people are playing the game. The actual player base numbers for CS2 have been trending up for the last 3 months. That is a very, very good sign. Average players and peak players both pointing in the right direction. Again, more people playing means more people trading. trading, means more people opening cases, means all that good stuff. That is a great sign for cases. So right now, especially now that the trading and the market seem like they're intact and everything's not going to be crashing down, going to zero, whatever, it does seem like a time that I want to start adding to my case collection, adding to my case investments, adding to my portfolio again. And what are the cases I'm going to be looking at? One of the cases is definitely the clutch case. Now, this one I have towards the bottom of my list because this does not seem like one I'm going to be adding just yet, but it does seem one that if you did start buying it, I wouldn't think it's a horrible investment. This one right now at 51 cents, and again, it's going to be even cheaper on third-party marketplaces, is very cheap. And yes, it is very similar to the snakebite, that there's a ton of supply, stuff like that out there. People don't necessarily love opening it, but they are still opening it a lot, probably because it's so cheap. I do think this one will do very well, and it has been doing well. It's up 9% in the last month, and you can buy a ton of them for very cheap and give yourself a ton of flexibility. Over the past year, obviously this thing's been getting killed. It went really crazy back in the CS2 hype. Again, we're comparing April 2024 right now to April 2023, the very peak of the market. So these 1 year graphs don't necessarily tell the whole story, but yes, this thing has been getting killed. But lately in the last month, again, it's been on that nice little uptrend. I don't know what it's been doing in the past 6 months, still down like 31%. But again, I do think cases are pointing in the right direction right now. Clutch case, it's not my favorite, but if you threw some money at it or if you believe in it for whatever reason, I don't think it's that horrible. I do think this is one that's worth putting some money into. I don't have any clutch cases yet, but I could see myself at some point. Chroma 2 is another case that I like a lot. This one got a ton of hype and a ton of just popularity, especially during the CS2 hype. There were so many streamers doing unboxings and everything, and you could get, so many of the chroma finishes. People were opening up, rubies and sapphires and all this crazy stuff, XQC and train wrecks, and they're streaming and making YouTube videos and shorts and everything and TikToks to millions of people, and it was really making these Chroma 2 and all the Chroma cases go very crazy. You can see here the price point, a little bit more expensive for these, so I don't necessarily love them as much. Again, still towards the bottom of my list, but up 12.2% in the last month. That's some insane gains. In the past 6 months, obviously not so great of a story. And in the past year, again, we're going to be comparing this to the CS2 Mania, but actually still up 11% in the past year, which is really good. But this thing is pointing in the right direction, and this is at least a case that I can see always having some genuine demand and always getting very popular. So when the player base does spike up, or when we do have some crazy points for CS2, and if the player base continues to grow, I think there's always going to be demand for some Chroma 2 cases, for unboxings, for content creators, all that stuff. There's also the Danger Zone case. Again, we saw some of these unboxing numbers for the Danger Zone case. Where is this thing at? We see right here, it's got very good unboxing numbers. It's pretty competitive with some of the other most unboxed rare cases out there. In the last month, up 5.46%. I definitely like to see that. Again, there's another case that's not doing so good in the last year, down 21%, but we're sitting at about 74 cents right now. This is another case. Again, it's not my favorite. I don't own any of them. I'm probably not going to be loading up on them, but it's one of my favorites out there. But again, I'm trying to be mostly invested into like my top choices. Danger Zone, I think, is a great case. It's been doing well. It's been trending in the right direction. It's one I'm keeping my eye on. I really love the unboxing number specifically for the Danger Zone case. We have the Spectrum 2 case as well. This is not a case that had been on my radar a ton, or that I had necessarily been looking at, but it's been doing well lately, up 7.56%. Again, a little bit more expensive one here at $2. So not one that I'm going to be loading into just yet. I really like those cases that are under $1, especially because there's some great ones out there. But Spectrum 2, again, has some pretty good unboxing numbers sitting in here. 500,000 open in the last 30 days. It's pretty competitive with a lot of these other ones. It's been doing well. People seem to be liking this one more and more. Maybe keep an eye on it. I don't know. And then another one here, the Operation Phoenix weapon case. Absolutely on fire in the past month. 16%. I love to buy things that are trending in the right direction, that are showing strong growth, that are showing strong genuine demand. I know a lot of people are scared to buy when things are going up. They only want to buy the very bottom, but guess what? When things are going up, and in a market that generally goes up, you're going to be buying things that are trending upwards a lot, and you can't necessarily be scared of that. I'm not saying that means this is a great buy necessarily right now, but I mean, just don't be scared to buy stuff that's going up, because again, markets that go up are usually going to be going up. In the past year, this thing's up 3.4%. Again, any cases that are up in the last 365 days, that's a great sign, because a year ago, this was peak CS2 Mania. It's absolutely insane to be above those prices at this point. Things been trending in the right direction, doing very well. My top two choices for cases, these are the cases that I love the most. Number one, definitely the most, but number two is also very good. Revolver case, a little bit expensive at $1.88. It's up 2.4% in the last month, but this is a case that I definitely like. I don't know, I sold off a ton of these, but I could definitely see myself buying back into them again. I think this one has a lot of genuine demand. People like to open it. It's got some big chase skins in it. It's got some of the most expensive skins in the game potentially inside of it, and that gives people a reason to always be looking to open it up, and it always is going to give it some value. And again, in the past year, this thing is up. But my favorite case, this is a case that I have the most money invested into, the case that I'm probably going to be loading most of my money into going forward when I invest in cases, the Prisma 2 case. Again, looking at this, I love the unboxing numbers. It looks like it is the third most unboxed rare case right here, only behind the Snakebite and the Clutch. And again, we've talked about the Snakebite and the Clutch, how they have some insane supplies and quantities and stuff, and that's part of the reason why they're opened up so much. They're also so cheap, but the Prisma 2 case itself is not cheap, but 74 cents. You can get it for under $1. This thing is up 4% in the past month, which obviously isn't insane. And in the past year, it's actually down a little bit, but again, that shows that I think there's some opportunity here. The unboxing numbers are very good as the player base and everything, the population continues to grow and unboxing numbers continue to grow. I think the Prism 2 case presents a very, very big opportunity. It's a case I love. It's a case I'm going to be loading up on, and I can't wait to buy more. Again, out of all these cases, I don't really think you can go wrong with any of the 7 cases I showcased in this video. I think they're all going to be pretty good investments over the next 5 years or something like that. It's going to be a long time horizon. Who knows what can happen in between, but I believe in the future of CS2, which means I believe the player base is going to continue to increase. I think people are always going to love opening up cases, and some of these old rare cases are, I think, going to be very profitable in the future. Prism 2 case being one of my big winners, and one that I already have a decent amount of, but I could definitely see myself buying more of probably in the pretty near future, especially now that the trading markets are seeming to get flattened out and straightened out, and I'm going to have some money ready to go and some funds ready to go to add to my portfolio. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.